The number one show I know that we all agree on is Break the Bank with LERK and DEION.
Welcome back to another episode of the Break the Bank podcast. This is your boy Lurk. As always, I'm with my guys X and Dion. Action-packed weekend, as you can see in the picture behind me. For those that missed the fight, yo, Crawford put the fucking beats on ERROL Spence. It was nasty work. I said it in one of the group chats that we in. I wanted Spence to win, but I think Crawford gonna win. And it was nowhere close to a fight as I thought it was gonna be. I don't know about y'all, but whenever I watch a boxing match, like, and it's people that I fuck with in the fight, I always keep score the whole time I'm watching. I had Spence winning the first round and then getting bullied for the rest of the fight before the ref stopped it. Are we all in agreement that it was that dominant of a performance from Bud?
Well, that was like Bernard Hopkins versus Tito Trinidad level ass whooping. Like there's so much anticipation. Some would say it's probably the best fight that could have been made in boxing, arguably. We've been waiting years for this shit, and it didn't look like they belonged in the same ring together. But the worst part, honestly, it's bad for boxing because ideally this should have been like some shit that could have got like a trilogy out of. You know what I'm saying? But who the fuck would want to see a rematch?
Like, that's bro, the thing, right? Because they got the mandatory rematch in the contract. So no matter who won, there was gonna be a rematch. Which, as lopsided as that fight was, I don't see how Spence has a chance winning in a rematch.
It depends on the weight. If he has to cut to 47 again, then I don't want to watch it. But if they meet at 54, I'd watch that.
But I mean, he's fought at 47 his whole career.
Yeah, but he's 33 now. Like, he looked. So, like, I thought Spence was gonna win, just because I fuck with Spence, and then I saw him walk to the ring. I'm like, he don't got it.
Once he came out with Homie, I knew the fight was over.
But he just looked. I always some of the worst weight cuts I've seen is Conor McGregor making 145. Right? He did it for like 7 years between the UFC and that other shit he was doing in Europe. There was a moment I think he fought Chad Mendes right before he fought Jose Aldo. And I'm like, this motherfucker can't make 45 anymore. Like, he's killing himself to get down here. It's got to be over quick or else he's done. And Spence looked like that. Like, he's done it too many times. And now his body's just not letting him do it anymore. Or, maybe there's also the possibility that he just did the wrong things within his camp. Only him and his camp know that. I don't know. I don't want to see it, whether it's Bud or someone else. I don't want to see him fight at 47 again, though.
Well, I mean, he said that this was going to be his last fight at 47. And then when they asked him about the rematch after the fight, he said hopefully they fight at 154. Personally, watching Bud move up all the way to 147 and be dominant at 147, I don't doubt that at 154, he might slow down just a little bit, but I don't doubt at 154 that he's still not going to be able to put the beats on him, because between the speed and the power, and then he's a counter fighter off rip, and then he fucked Spence up by fighting left the whole time. He fought lefty the whole time, which fucked him up on top of that, right? Bro, Spence is too aggressive for a style of fighter and a fighter at that caliber as Bud. I tweeted about it during the fight. Bro, we've watched Spence be aggressive in every single fight before this and in this fight. But the difference is that Bud got the speed and the power, and he loves to counter. And his footwork is crazy. Spence being so aggressive opens him up to get the shit knocked out of him, and we saw that whole fight.
That's why I like.
Go ahead. Yeah. I was gonna say, because the thing, so I've been watching Crawford like his whole career, like, because he was, he's, I guess, probably like in Nebraska or wherever the fuck he's from. But
yeah, Omaha, yeah.
But the thing about him is, right, like, there's a ceiling to how good he looks, because if you're somebody like Ryan Garcia, you can look good against anybody. You go out there, you let your hands go, you can be impressive. But with him, he needs aggression in order to really showcase how good he is. To your point, he's a counterpuncher. So, like, it's like most people don't, like, they're like, yeah, Crawford's good, but we never saw that, because we had never had somebody who would, like, to your point, was so aggressive, who had to get his shit off first. And Crawford was like, yo, perfect. Bring it on. You know what I'm saying? And fuck the weight. That was a boxing masterclass. The
Mhm.
skill, it's not a matter of power. The skill will translate with him regardless. You know what I'm saying? It's just everything. The way he feigns, the way he sets you up for the counter, his timing, like that shit that regardless of the weight, I just don't think that Spence was ever in there with a technician like Crawford before. I don't think that man got a chance in a rematch. I don't care what they could fight at heavyweight. I still think Crawford is head and
I,
shoulders
I
above him.
think I don't know how you could watch the first fight and be like Bud should be like -3, -400, right? Like
Oh, facts. Yeah.
Going into the
pretty
rematch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why I think it'd be good at 54 is the first punch that knocks Spence down. That's not happening at 54, right? Like
Nah, I think it still can because it was just about timing for me. When I watched that replay multiple times, it was just about timing. It was the fact that Spence was jumping back. All his momentum was already going backwards. And Spence's jab, and Crawford's jab is not a regular jab. That shit is more like a straight.
I think if they were to fight again at 54, it like you could tell me Bud won 12 rounds to 0. It was a boxing masterclass. It was Floyd Mayweather-esque, right? But the damage he did to Spence doesn't happen at 54 because that him going down on that punch, that was a weight cut. That was a weight cut.
What about the rest of the fight though? Because he
Bro,
really
that was an accumulation of punishment.
He was rocking him for the next 8
I'm not saying
rounds,
he wasn't,
bro.
but once he went down the first time, like Spence was done. Like you could tell, like that's the thing. Like that was the first time he's really been hit like that.
Yeah.
And mentally, I think it fucked him and he was out of it. Like he didn't want to be in there anymore. His timing was off. His punches were lazy and they're extremely predictable. And I think at 54, if he wouldn't go down like that. And again, Bud could win 12 rounds to none, but it's not going to look the way it looked at 40.
No, it may not. Yeah, to your point, it may not be that lopsided in terms of punishment, but I don't know if he can win 7 rounds against Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think Crawford would knock him out in a rematch if they fought at 54. I don't think Crawford knocks him out.
I think he's more likely to knock him out at 154.
Nah,
I don't think so.
I
just think it's just 12 rounds of just fucking skill.
He's gonna lose power and ERROL's gonna gain a chin.
Yeah,
we'll see. I mean, there's so many punches you could take to the chin. Unless you Mexican, bro, but so many punches you could take to the chin before you drop it.
But that's the biggest thing with a weight cut. Like when you drain yourself the way he did. I mean, look at your picture, bro. Like, look at this.
I get what you're saying. Look, I get what you're saying. I'm a Spence fan. I get what you're saying. But you also talking about a guy who's still gonna land a ton of clean power punches on his chin. It's still gonna happen. Like you could say whatever you want about the weight and the power, but we're still talking about a guy who is technically gifted, technically sound, and is a counter puncher against one of the most aggressive fighters out there.
And show me tape where Spence has successfully fought off his back foot and moving backwards. You don't see it, right? Because he's used to being the one that he's setting the pace of the fight. You're fighting at his range. You're fighting at his distance. He's controlling everything. That's Crawford. The ring generalship or whatever that's all Crawford. He's going to make you fight his style of fight. And the thing is, if you want to beat him, you got to land enough punches, which means you have to get off first. And you're literally just walking into his trap. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing with Mayweather. Everybody thought, well, just let your hands go. It's like, yeah, but after you get counted enough, you hesitate to let your hands go. And that means if your punches are even a split second too slow, he's going to, you know what I'm saying? He's going to parry him, he's going to duck him, and then you're going to punch. You're going to feel punishment.
No, I agree. Bud said something in his post fight. He's like, yo, in the second round, he hit me with a punch and then I knocked him down. And I remember thinking to myself, oh, that didn't hurt that bad. And he was more willing to go forward. And then he saw Spence's reaction to his power. That's switching at 54. I'm not saying it completely flips, but Bud don't necessarily want to get hit by a fully hydrated Spence. And Spence is going to be less scared of Bud's power if he's fully hydrated. I feel the same way about Ryan Garcia, Gervonta. Like Gervonta is still going to beat Ryan Garcia if they fought at a higher weight class, but it's a much different fight if they fought where this dude ain't killing himself to make weight.
Yeah. No. I mean, Hopefully you're right. Because I mean, if we're gonna see it, I hope it's more competitive. Because then we get a trilogy, right? Like the boxing is so fucked as a sport that we need rivalries like this. You know what I'm saying? Because they slow cook these fucking fights for so many years that a lot of times we don't even get to see the fight because somebody takes an L and then all of a sudden they lose all their marketability. That I hope the second fight is good just so we can get a third one. You know what I'm saying?
You have Puerto Rican, so I know you've been watching boxing since you've been able to see clearly.
Absolutely.
Now that Bud is 40-0, 31 knockouts, undisputed champion in multiple divisions, only person in boxing history to do that. Would you say he's at least top 10 all time now?
I can't say that.
Yeah, I think he is.
Already? Top 10?
My hot take is I think
40-0, 31 knockouts, 8 different championship belts he's done had in multiple divisions.
my hot take is I think he's better than Floyd.
I think, so he mentioned Floyd earlier, and you say that, right? Watching that fight, one, I feel like that was the best performance he had of his entire career. And it was at the perfect time because this was the biggest fight of his career, right? But watching that fight, all I kept thinking was, he reminds me of young Floyd, but with more power. So I ain't even mad at you saying that, to be honest. I think he still has a way to go before I can sit there and agree with you and say that he's a better boxer than Floyd. But I'm not mad at you for that.
Yo, y'all be getting these hot takes off. All right, I'm gonna go through his resume and point out all right, Errol Spence, all right, cool. Sean Porter, all right, Kell Brook, fucking, he was a champion over in London. No, you don't get credit for that. Amir Khan, glass chin. Jose Benavidez Jr., After that, I mean, Henry Lundy, he's a fucking journeyman. Come on. I mean,
it take you a while before you start fighting real people anyway.
I mean, to be fair,
everybody a while before they start fighting real people.
These dudes didn't want to fight him either. Like, it wasn't his fault per se.
Where wasn't he trying to fight Spence for years?
He tried to fight Spence in 2018.
To your point, I love boxing. I don't recognize a name on his resume until we get to Anthony Mora. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, you start to see the typical gatekeepers that, they feed to these stars on the rise. But
so that sounds like the similar career arc as pretty much every other boxer in history.
Sounds like Floyd.
Not a top 10 boxer.
Sounds like Floyd.
First of all, you disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't fight a Diego Corrales. You know what I'm saying? At the time that Floyd fought Diego Corrales. You know what I'm saying? Like,
look, Floyd went like a good 5-6 year stretch where he was fighting good fighters in his prime. And then he went like a good 10-15 year stretch where he was the most selective boxer in the history of the sport.
I mean, he fought Haddon in his prime. I'll give him Haddon. Mosley and De La Hoya were old.
You saw what he did.
Really, we just wanted to see Floyd fight Pacquiao in his prime. I think that's a different fight if Manny's in his prime. But nevertheless, he don't have Crawford don't got a top 10 resume. I think that's fucking blasphemy.
Maidana.
I think what he's achieved.
He didn't even fight Maidana.
No, I'm talking about Floyd, like Maidana.
I mean, he fought Cotto.
Yeah, I'll give him Cotto.
Cotto wasn't in his prime no more either, though.
Victor Ortiz. I mean, come on.
I mean, he fought he fought Canelo, mind you, before Canelo was ready.
Canelo was ready. Canelo was nowhere close to ready.
But Canelo's power was still very much real. You know what I'm saying? So the threat level was there because we always thought he never fought anybody that could seriously threaten him. If Canelo could have landed an actual punch, he could have hurt Floyd. He just couldn't land anything on him. But
he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready for that.
All right, but
he was nowhere close to his prime, bro. He was like 21.
No, I'm agreeing with you. But Crawford's resume being top 10 on
look, he fought Mosley when he was like 66. He fought Pacquiao when he was like 45, already a politician.
Yeah, y'all some prisoners of the moment. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not. Look, again, I'm not in agreement that he's better than Floyd. I don't think he's better than Floyd, but I think he has an argument for top 10 all time.
Bro, if we really sat here, I'm not going to bore the audience, but he don't got a better resume than fucking Tito Trinidad. You know what I'm saying?
He's accomplished more than Tito Trinidad, though. Tito Trinidad might have fought more big names than him, but
So
nobody in history has been the undisputed champion in multiple weight classes, bro. Nobody.
So here's my question, X. Because we can go down the Floyd list and be like, yo, here's who he should have fought. Who should have Bud fought?
No, I get people were actively ducking him, but there's a reason for that.
But like who? I think.
Because here's the thing. There's
They
a reason
want him
people
to
didn't
end their
fight. Listen,
careers.
there's a reason that people didn't fight Golovkin, right? There's a reason he didn't start getting major fights till after 35. Because when you're that dominant and you're not really marketable, yeah, he was selling out arenas in fucking Omaha, Nebraska, but he wasn't selling out Las Vegas. He didn't have the star power. So if you're an actual star fighter, you're like, so I'm gonna give you 40, 50% of the purse, and you're not bringing anything economically to the table. And all I got is downside by fighting you. Fuck you! I'm not fighting you, Crawford.
But
Absolutely
I think
not. So I get why people didn't want to fight.
So then
the
you
top
can't
tier
shit on
guys.
his resume so much.
But I think the difference is in the resumes is that he is like, unfortunately, part of like greatness in this sport is based off how your weight class looks at your peak, right?
Yeah.
Floyd fought in the deepest weight classes at his peak, and that opened up possibilities to fight all the guys he fought. I don't think there's anyone. I mean, now that he's at 147 and he's talking about going to 54, there's a longer list of guys he could fight. But at his other weight classes, I don't think there was anyone left that he like actively didn't fight. I mean, maybe Gervonta at 135, but Gervonta wasn't like a big name at that time, right? So,
and I agree, but let's be honest. If you're gonna talk about top 10, you have to have the resume. There could be any number of reasons for why you didn't fight the guys, but I cannot say, well, had he fought the top guys, he would have been as dominant and put you over somebody that I saw you fight the top guys. Maybe you took an L in there or two, but you fought the best of the best. Because like Sugar Ray, like you fought the best of the best, and you had dominant classic fights against the best of your time. And it's like Errol Spence is cool, but he's not an all-time great. And that's by far the biggest name that Crawford has defeated. That's not to say that that's his fault. But don't tell me he's top 10. That's outlandish.
Who's your top five? No order.
Errol Spence is quite literally the best possible boxer he could have fought.
Yeah.
At this moment?
In his career.
Yeah, but that's
for both of them, and not for nothing. Like for both of them, they both just fought the best fighter they ever fought. But who would you say is your top five in no order? We're not even gonna go the whole top 10, just your top five.
I mean, you gotta put Ali.
Floyd, Mike, Ali, right? That's guaranteed.
Mike. First of all, Mike shouldn't be in nobody's top 10.
I don't even think Cassius should be.
I
don't know.
You gotta relax.
I love Sugar Ray Leonard. You know what I'm saying? My son Julio Cesar Chavez went like 147 and like 4.
He can't be in the top 5. Not
yeah,
after
both of them.
I
feel like both of them are guaranteed top 5.
Or even my son, even you look at something like Joe Calzaghe, right? He retired and defeated like 44-0. Yeah, he had 2-3 good shits, but it's like I'm not gonna say he's top 10. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean,
I don't know.
Canelo,
Roy Jones in my top 10. Roy Jones low key in my top 5.
Like Canelo's in my top 5. A guy like Andre Ward's in my top 10. Floyd, Sugar Ray Leonard for sure.
And that's not even talking about like the old school boxers, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, Sugar Ray Leonard and Julio Cesar Chavez and Muhammad Ali are all old.
If you want to talk about just like modern, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, De La Hoya's resume is fucking impressive. You know what I'm saying?
Fury?
I would put Klitschko. We're talking modern. I put Klitschko.
Hey, you gonna put the dude that he beat?
Lewis.
You go put the dude Tyson beat?
Huh?
You gonna put the guy Tyson Fury beat like ahead of him?
Who?
Nah, I didn't. Nah, we never said. I said no order.
You're saying you would put Klitschko in it?
I said I would put Klitschko in there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tyson Fury is the greatest heavyweight of all time, personally. Like he would be in my top 5, I think.
I don't think he beats a prime Lennox Lewis. I don't think
Smokes
he
him.
beats a prime Tyson. I don't think he beats a prime Muhammad Ali.
He
I
was
don't think
smoked
he
Tyson.
beats a. I don't think he beats a prime Foreman.
He smokes Tyson and Foreman. I think him and Ali would be obviously a great fight. Him and Lewis would probably be a great fight. But he smoked
Tyson's
Tyson.
speed at the heavyweight is unmatched.
Sugar Ray Robinson.
Yeah.
Facts.
Roy Jones Jr., I think would probably be in mine.
Yeah.
Definitely in mine.
Yeah. I mean, Roberto Duran was fucking.
All right, let's get a little
All right.
unserious with the boxing.
All right.
Jake Paul.
Nate Diaz, Jake Paul.
Top 5.
Oh.
Top 5. Let's talk about it.
Forget the
Top 5.
rankings. Nate Diaz, Jake Paul, Dion.
Yo, no
Jake
funny
Paul
shit.
is your favorite person in the world besides your mom's.
Listen, no BS. We could sit up here. We could talk resumes all day. Ain't nobody fucking with Jake's resume this early. We can talk resumes all day. Show me Floyd's first 5 fights. I'll show you Jake's first 5 fights.
Jake about to get put to sleep.
No, he's not.
Nah, he's not.
No, he's not.
He's not.
Nate's
Listen,
going to bed.
I'm just anti his success.
I heard Nate talk, right? Like he was doing an interview. And bro, no bullshit.
How old is he now?
He got like a severe case of CTE, bro.
Yeah.
Like he's
Right.
cooked.
But what is he like? 45?
He's like 30 something. The thing about
No
this fight
way.
that's fun is Nate not gonna go down like
Exactly.
easily. So like when Jake knocks him out, like he really gonna knock him out. And
You
I do think
Jake
he's
wins
gonna
by knockout?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
quick too, quick.
Yeah.
See
How
the thing
how
about
many
the
units
UFC
you putting on Jake to win by knockout?
Well, it depends on how the rest of the week goes. We've had the last few weeks have been tough.
I respect the honesty.
But the thing about these UFC guys is they just all drop their hands. And Jake can box. Like, can he box on the level of like the guys we were just talking about? Absolutely not. Like
He lost to Tommy Fury, so
exactly. But he's gonna be substantially bigger than Nate. He's gonna be quicker than Nate, and he can box, and Nate can't. Like, I think it's gonna be a massacre in there.
But Nate is a legend because every fight that he's in, he looks like in wrestling when they used to cut themselves with the razor blade and just be covered in blood because he got heart more than anything. But no one's ever going to sit there and say that Nate was like a skilled defensive fighter because
he's more of a wrestler than a boxer.
Nah, he's actually a boxer. He can't wrestle to save his life. He's a boxer.
He's a striker, but
striker.
He's not in there fucking, you know what I'm saying, making you
but
miss.
He
chose my words wisely, Dion. As I said, boxer, not striker.
For an MMA guy, like if you're Jake and you're making this career off fighting MMA dudes, right? Like, and then you obviously mix in the Tommy Fury fight, which we get, like, I mean, I think we all had differing opinions on it. I thought that was more impressive than any win he's had, and I'm probably going to feel the same way on Saturday after he knocks out Nate. But Nate is the best boxer in UFC history, him or Conor, I think. Just pure box. But again, that's comparing him to other UFC dudes. So this, if Jake knocks out Nate and then goes, yo, I'm going to go fight another UFC guy, that's when you get me that's on the side with everybody else that's like, yo, fam, like, what are we talking about right now?
Yeah.
Like, this is unless it's Conor, this is like the peak for him because Nate used to spar with Andre Ward. He used to spar with certain dudes, like helping them in the build-up for their camp. So, like, he's a boxing specialty, and he is a good boxer for an MMA guy, a very good boxer for an MMA guy. So, but he's gonna get his ass knocked out.
So now, before we move on from the boxing, who you got winning the KSI Tommy Fury fight? They locked in for October 14th.
It's gonna be a massacre too. Yeah, here's the thing. These YouTubers better quit playing with Tommy before he hurts somebody. Like, Tommy is not a good boxer in comparison to like his brother and other boxers, but Tommy would be a world champion if he put his effort into boxing. You know what I mean? So these YouTubers better quit playing with him before he actually hurts somebody.
I'm all for it though. I like watching these YouTubers get beat up.
I'm for it too.
Even though Jake Paul's been holding his own.
I'm for it too because, like, say what you want about Jake. No Jake Paul, We don't get Gervonta Ryan Garcia. We don't get Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford. We don't get a fight that I'm looking forward to in Tyson Fury, Francis Ngannou. We don't get Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder. Like all these big fights we're getting is because these motherfuckers saw Jake and Tommy did the biggest fucking boxing pay-per-view in 5 years and said, "Now we can't let this kid take over our sport."
Yo, we about to get into the NFL win totals, right? Knock out the rest of the conferences. But before we
the rest?
yeah, we gonna knock out the rest. Easy peasy. But did y'all see the Sean Payton comments the other day in the USA Today? Where he was dragging Nathaniel Hackett, talking about like how much of a horrible job he did as the coach of the Broncos.
Is that
And
why Aaron Rodgers said to keep his coach's name out his mouth or whatever?
yeah, they was asking him what he thought about Sean Payton's comments, because yo, bro, I've never seen a head coach. I've never seen a coach, period, of any level publicly talk down about another coach, unless it was like a specific decision made that they like disagreed with, like a player got hurt or some shit. Like I've never seen a coach talk about another coach like that. And then on top of that, he started talking crazy about the front office too. But like,
But you know that,
really,
see, he hit you with the okie doke. That was about one thing. Russell Wilson. That's all it was.
the whole shit was about Russell Wilson, right? But like,
That's all it was about.
so he took like he had like one or two negative quote unquote comments to say about Russell Wilson, but other than that, it was more like, yo, he blamed the coach for their lack of success. But he did bring up some good points though. Like with what he was saying, like he brought up valid points for everything he was saying, including the front office when he was talking about what they allowed Russ to get away with. He said that that's only because the GM and the president and shit, like they let that go down. That's not on Russ. That's on them to put a stop to that. I'm not letting none of that shit rock. Right? So I respect that. When he was talking about Nathaniel Hackett, he brought up a lot of shit, like the penalties. He was talking about how they was the worst in the league in pre-snap penalties on both sides of the ball, not just offense. Like he brought up some good points, but I still ain't never ever seen no shit like that in my life. Where a coach talk like that about another coach publicly. They usually be like cops defending each other.
I feel him.
I mean, look, for better or for worse, because of Wilson's contract, he ain't going nowhere for the next 2 to 3 years, at least, right? So if you assume, okay, my hands are tied with Wilson because we're not bringing in another quarterback, right? He's like, what do I need to do to fucking try and succeed? If Russell Wilson stinks and his feet's truly washed, then it kind of don't matter, right? I just think he's just trying to get Russell in a headspace to try and like light a fire in his ass, and also mentally just be like, hey, fuck what happened last year, put it behind you, and we're gonna have people stop talking shit about you. Just go out there and do your thing. But unfortunately, I just think Russ is cooked, bro. So I think none of that shit matters. That shit is all window dressing, and it's just a lot of smoke and mirrors to get people to forget about the fact that Russell Wilson fucking stunk and that Pete Carroll was right. You know what I'm saying? But that's it, man. I used to be Team Russ. Like, yo, team let Russ cook. Now I'm like, yo, Pete Carroll had a point, B. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is with Wilson, he's not a traditional pocket passer, right? He's not going to be Drew Brees. To be like, oh, well, he's going to succeed with fucking Russell Wilson because he had Drew Brees and Drew Brees was short. No, they're two different types of quarterback. Drew Brees could sit back behind the line, and if you gave him protection, he could pick you apart. Russell Wilson's not doing that. You know what I'm saying? His legs are cooked. He can't run. And he's not a pocket passer, so I don't know what the fuck Payne's gonna do. But yeah.
Man, I think if it's true, it's true. You know what I mean? Like,
and Hackett was horrible, but we knew that. Like, and let's be honest
about it extensively.
Like, unless you play like a certain level of football, we're all looking at football on Sundays and we're guessing, right? A lot of times we don't really know what the fuck we're watching unless it's painfully obvious where somebody fucks up. But even us, with to the naked eye, we're like, yo, Russell Wilson is cooked. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to know X's and O's to know that Russell Wilson just fucking stunk it up last year. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't
But
know.
I also think that with a better offensive line, better coaching,
Better
he could have
weapons,
did
better
more.
play calling, better
No, no,
everything.
no, 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 no,
You're
no. I
in the
think you keep the
perfect
same weapons.
condition.
I think you give him the same weapons, just better coaching and play calling and a better offensive line. And he's able to do a lot better. I'm not saying he's going to be an MVP level. I'm not saying he's top 5 or top 10, but I think he produces at a much better level than he did last year.
Russell Wilson was Russell Wilson because he thrived on broken plays. All right, I'm running for my life. I scramble outside the pocket. I'm going to make shit happen. You could let Russell Wilson sit back there for 3.5 minutes, and he's not going to throw an accurate fucking 30-yard crossing route. He's just not, bro. That's just not who he is. It's not who he is.
Let's get into the win totals. We're gonna start with the AFC South. Jacksonville Jaguars won the division last year. They went 9-8. Right now, the over-under is 9.5. I got the over. This might be the easiest or weakest, I should say, division in the entire NFL.
Yeah, I agree. And they got Calvin Ridley now. I'll take
Yeah, yeah. Let's not. And they still got Christian Kirk. A year removed from injury. Travis Etienne. How I don't know how to really pronounce his last name, but
Travis Etienne.
yeah. Who?
Travis Etienne.
EDN? Yeah, see, I butchered that crazy. I'm not even entirely sure you saying it right, but you watch more college football than me, so I'm
Yeah, I
sure
mean, he was
you.
one of the greatest college running backs.
Yeah, that's why I said like you watch more college football than but
Like-
X, what you got? Over or
Yeah.
under 9.5 wins?
Hold on. Who else is in the division? Is the Texans, the Colts,
Texans,
And
Colts,
the Titans.
and the Titans?
So there's no quarterbacks in the division, essentially.
Man,
Unless
I'm
you
gonna-
still rocking with your boy Davis Mills and Damian Pierce.
I'm gonna go under for the Jags.
Under 9.5?
Under 9.5. I think they need one more strong off season. I do like Calvin Ridley, but I don't know if I like everything else that they did. I still think they got some holes, so I'm gonna take the under. I just think that now they might still win the division again at 9-8. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if they I don't know if they win 10 games. So I'm taking
Their non-division opponents are the Chiefs, loss, Falcons, W, Bills, either way, Steelers, either way, 49ers, either way, the Bengals, the Ravens,
beat
the
us, to be honest.
Browns. Yo, like all their games are 50-50 pretty much outside of their division, as long as they have health on their side.
They might go 0-2 against the Titans, but all right. Next up, who we got?
0-2 against the Titans, you think so?
I think the Titans are pretty
next
good.
up.
Yeah, I think the Titans are pretty
The
good.
Titans are next up. The Titans went 7-10 last year. Right now, they pretty much they projected to have a similar season at 7.5. I'm gonna take the under.
I like the over.
I like the over.
What makes y'all believe that the Titans are so good? Hopkins?
Henry. I don't hate
Oh yeah,
Tannehill.
I love Henry.
He's never gonna win a Super Bowl, but like Tannehill's like good enough to get them, if they have a strong defense, which they constantly do, to get them to like 10 or 11 wins.
And Vrabel,
And it is a league
he's
division.
low key. Vrabel's low key a good coach. I think the reason they only won 7 games is because they had to play Malik Willis, and he's fucking dog shit. I was wrong about him. But I think if Tannehill's healthy for the whole year, I think this is
I mean, they won 7 games last year. Yeah, I'll take the over. They should be able to win at least 9.
Oh, come on. Now it's definitely going under.
Got
Got the light stench on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hate this, man. You came in last place last season, but
Still doesn't pay me.
The Colts went
Still doesn't pay me.
The Colts went 4-12
That's
last
blood.
season. Colts went 4-12 last season. They at 6.5 on the over under. I'm gonna take the under.
I think we're gonna sweep this.
Who's their quarterback now?
Anthony Richardson.
Way under. Yeah, win.
Yeah. That's a sweep. All right.
And then the Texans.
Under next team.
Texans are at 6.5. You going under 6?
Oh, they got
Well,
CJ now.
6.
I thought they were still. I thought they were still
Oh, yeah,
starting.
they got
X's
Stroud.
best
That's
friend.
right. It's not Davis Mills. I forgot all about him.
I forgot they got CJ now. I'm gonna still take the under though.
6.5. Got the Jags and the Titans going over. Yeah, seems about right. They
I'm
only
gonna
won
go.
3 games last year. That's crazy. Nasty work.
I'm gonna take the over. You going under,
Yeah, I'm taking the under.
and you too, Dion?
Yeah.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers going with the NFC South now. Tampa Bay Buccaneers 8-9 last year. Brady retires. They are at 6.5 right now with Baker Mayfield as the starting quarterback.
Over. I like this team.
This is another division that's pretty weak.
Yeah, it stinks.
6.5 seems pretty low.
They got a good defense still. Got one of the best offensive lines in football. Got a ton of weapons. Baker's awful, but product of schedule, I think they can win 4 or 5 in the division. They just got to steal a couple outside.
And you
Six
going
and a
over?
half is pretty low. I'm
Yeah.
gonna take the over.
I'm gonna take the over. They can beat the Panthers twice. They can beat the Falcons twice. The Saints are. I think the Saints win the division, but if they take one from them, let's say they split with the Panthers and Saints and beat the Falcons twice, you're at 4 already.
I'm taking the under, and to me, I don't even think it's particularly close. I think Baker Mayfield's dog shit.
You think they try
and
to?
I think Brady covered up a lot of the holes that they had on that roster. I don't believe in that offensive line, because Baker's not going to get the ball out the way that Brady did that quickly. So because of that, I think Mayfield's going to try to be Mayfield, and he's going to be a turnover machine. And so
You think the Bucks are in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes?
Nah.
I think they win like 5 games.
They're not even the worst team in that division. And they honestly
No, I was
they
just
might not be the
asking
second
X.
worst.
I was asking X. I think they might win the division. I think they go over 6.5. The division's pretty weak, bro. When you look at the division, it's pretty weak.
Awful.
So I don't think that it's out of the realm of possibility for them to win the division. Next up, we got the Carolina Panthers, who went 7-10 last year. The over under 7.5. I'm gonna take the under on this one.
I'm gonna take the under.
I think they win 7.
I'm gonna take the under because I think they had a great offseason. Obviously, trading for the #1 pick and getting Bryce Young, like that may work, it may not, but that's the type of move you have to make as a franchise. So I'm never gonna hate on it. But he's gonna have a learning curve, and he has deficiencies within his game already. So just because of that, I'd say the under. They're more talented than a 7-win football team.
Who's their coach now?
The dude from Indianapolis, Frank Wright. Am I saying that right?
All right, never mind. I was gonna go over, but if Frank Reich's their coach, I'm going under.
I think that's who it is.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I don't feel like checking, to be honest, just because
It's Frank Wright. I just googled it.
Just because it's the Panthers, I don't feel like checking.
Nah, yeah, it's Frank Wright. I mean, they got a little decent staff. He did good. I mean, he was the guy with luck, so.
New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, he's also the guy that made Luck retire early because he was getting absolutely fucking blitzed.
Fair. Yeah, that's fair.
New Orleans Saints. They went 7-10 last year. Right now they're at 9.5.
Over. This division's really bad.
Over.
They got to be able to win 10.
They only won 7 last year.
You had Derek Carr. Everyone else gets worse in the division besides maybe the Panthers. So I would say
You don't know if Alvin Kamara is playing, and if he does, you don't know when.
Yeah, but that rookie they got is fast as fuck. Plus, they got Michael Thomas back. I think that's
Plant
the kind
Merchant.
of. I like the Saints.
Plant Merchant's back.
I'll take that. You know what I'm saying? So, look, what you going?
I'm gonna take the under.
All right, cool.
I'm taking the under on the next. Who's left?
Yeah, I'm under on the next one too. The Falcons.
Yeah,
The
we get to eat
Falcons
it.
are at 8.5 right now.
They should have traded for Bryce Young. I
All
will
right,
say
look,
this though, Bijan Robinson, that's a first
Really,
round running back in fantasy.
look. Y'all know that I fall in love with a quarterback every year.
Oh boy,
This year, I'm falling in love with that Falcons QB, the young dude. What's his
Desmond
name?
Ritter?
oh,
Yeah, Desmond Ritter.
he's awful.
The next Mahomes, bro. You know what I'm saying? The next Patrick Mahomes. Give me the
You know who they just called the kid at Michigan, JJ McCarthy, the dude I call Captain Checkdown. He just got compared to Mahomes today. Everybody's getting compared to Mahomes
Yo,
now.
did he just really say he's the next Mahomes?
Nah, I'm just talking shit. I'm taking the under because I forgot it's the Falcons and they stink. So I'll take the
Eight and
under.
a half seems unreasonable. I'm
Eight
going
and a
under.
half.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if it was like 6.5, I'll take the over. 7.5, maybe 8.5. I
eight
don't
and a
think
half is unreasonable.
I said under thinking it was 5.5.
Nah, that's wild. I would have took the over if it was 5.5.
disrespectful.
Nah,
They
what you said is
stink.
wild. All right, so next up we got the Cincinnati Bengals leading off the AFC North. They went 12-4 last season. Right now the over under is 11.5. I'm gonna take the over.
I'm gonna take the over. Joe Burrow is everything y'all want Herbert to be.
Wait,
I'm,
I don't know.
I'm
Herbert
taking the under.
Burrow just got hurt, right? Did they say when he coming
It's
back?
strained calf. He's fine.
Yeah, but you know what
Yeah,
happens with straight calves? You know what that's connected to? The same.
yeah.
Y'all think everybody Kevin Durant now?
Hey.
First of all, it all depends on where exactly the strain is at,
Here we
how
go.
bad the strain is.
Look, a sports
If he
doctor
left it
on Twitter
here.
told me to be mindful of the Achilles here.
I'm gonna take the over 11.5 for Burrow.
12 is a lot.
Is it?
12 and
It's Joe
5?
Burrow.
I
Joe
think
Burrow
low
and
key,
T.
I don't think that
Higgins.
division is that good.
I disagree.
I think the defense in that division is that good.
As much as I'm not a Lamar Jackson stan, I like what they kind of did around him. I do.
But the
And I
Browns
think
did.
and
I
look,
don't think
the Steelers ain't been under 500 in Mike Tomlin's entire career. So I'm not gonna assume they're gonna automatically win 5 games. And look, I don't want to talk about Nasty Man, but Nasty Man is there. He might steal a game.
Yeah, I know. Steal a game?
Listen, it's been long enough. If his contract magically doesn't become guaranteed, I am willing to look past it. You know, if he
Yo, so what you got? Over or under, X?
Under. I think they win 11.
All right, so me and Dion both said over. You got the under. Ravens. Ravens are next. Ravens went 10-7 last year. They had 10.5 this year. I don't know how I feel about that.
I got the under.
I think they had a good all season. I don't know. That's tough.
I think they beat each other up. I think they win 10 games, so I'm going under.
I don't think they're better than the Browns, so I don't got.
I don't know. I'm looking at their schedule. I agree with you, Dion, but I'm looking at their schedule and
You don't think they're better than the Browns?
no, I don't think so either.
Listen, I'll tell you what. I don't care what Deshaun do off the field. He would have to do like a triple 59 homicide for me to think that he's gonna lose more games than Lamar Jackson. I'm not a Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the under. Nah, I don't know because I feel like they could win 11 games and still lose the division.
Well, they're gonna lose the division.
Yeah, but I'm saying I don't know. I'm gonna go over. They just gotta
Joe
win
Burrow, in my
11 games.
opinion, is head and shoulders the second best quarterback in the league.
I'm looking at their schedule and they gotta play the Cardinals, the Lions, the Texans.
Well, it's the NFL. That week to week shit never works out the way you anticipate.
I understand what you're saying, but I don't know, bro. I'm gonna go with the under 10.5. So winning 10 games is not
I'm
unreasonable.
just doing a numbers game. If you assume that the Steelers are locked to go 9-8, which they are, they're an absolute lock for 9-8. Then if you put the Bengals at 12 wins, and y'all think the Browns are better than the Ravens, yeah, I just don't think there's enough wins to go around. So I'm taking the under on the Ravens.
Yeah, I got the under. Listen, Lamar
I got
ain't
the
that
under
good.
at 10.
Lamar ain't that good to me.
All right, cool.
He's
I
good, but he's not I think he's
Eh.
the third best quarterback in the conference. I mean,
I don't think he's in my top 10 quarterbacks in the league, actually. I'd have to think about it, but I don't think he is.
well, we're gonna discuss that later on.
Hey, Kirk Cousins that chased chickens as a kid. That's what Lamar Jackson is.
Yo, next team, the Pittsburgh Steelers. They went 9-8 last year. The win total right now is listed at 8.5. X already has them a lock to win 9 games. Dion, do you agree with him?
Nah, I got the under, man. That division's like you're gonna lose to the Browns twice, you're gonna lose to the Bengals
you
twice.
don't feel a little bit of self-hatred betting against Mike Tomlin, who's never finished less than 500.
No.
This is the year.
Fraud.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yo, to call him a fraud is a bit much, but
Mike Singletary with a good front office.
That's fucking nuts.
nah, this
The
guy.
man was winning with Mitchell Trubisky. Lurk, what you got?
I'm gonna take the over.
Over? All right, bet.
I think this is one of the toughest divisions in the NFL. I think it's gonna be a tight race for all of the teams in the division. And I also think that this is one of the few divisions that you might even see 3 teams go to the playoffs, to be honest.
Hey, I think 3 get in. For
Yeah,
sure.
I don't think it's I don't think it's the Steelers, but I
No.
think this is a team that you get the Bengals, the division that the Bengals, the Ravens, and the Browns all get in.
Because the
Right?
South and the West only get 1, in my opinion.
Yeah, the South
Yeah,
is
but remember, ain't it like 7 teams now in the playoffs?
Yeah.
yeah. So 4 divisions, 4
3
division
wild cards.
leaders, and then 3 wild cards. 2 of the 3 wild cards are most likely going to be from the North.
And then I
So
think the other
now-
one's gonna be the Dolphins or Jets.
Yeah. Well, I think the Jet. Well, we'll get into that when we get to the East. But I can't believe that I even have the stance that I have with that. But last team in the division, Cleveland Browns, they went 7-10 last year. Get a full season of Deshaun Watson and Amari Cooper together. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Browns are at 9.5. I'm gonna go with the over. I think they might even win this division.
Yeah, I got the over too. A nasty man can play. It's just it is what it is.
What's the over under?
9.5. This is a 12-13 win team.
I'm taking the under.
The defense is legit.
Nasty man can play.
How many games they win last year?
They won 7 last year.
7?
Yeah,
9.5?
winning with Jacoby Brissett.
He's still on that team?
Who, Brissett?
Yeah.
Oh no, I
I
don't
don't
think
know.
so.
I still want him to be the Niners quarterback. I've been saying it for years.
He stinks, bro. Stop.
Still better than Purdy. Still better than Purdy.
It would be racist to disagree with you, so I'm not gonna disagree with you. But
Yo, yo, XB dragging shit OD.
Listen,
NFC North, nah, we're not gonna listen.
Garoppolo. You heard it
NFC
here
North,
first.
Minnesota Vikings went 13-4 last year. Right now, the over-unders at 8.5. I'm gonna take the over. I think they're a 9-10 win team at
Who's
least.
this?
Minnesota Vikings.
Oh yeah, I'll take the over too.
At least 9-10 wins.
give me the under.
Ain't nobody in that division.
I think. Fuck. I was about to say that. You know what? Yeah, I'm going over.
You know who they got projected to
Lions.
win the division right now based off the win
Fucking
totals?
Lions.
Fire Lions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Next team up, you just like, oh, I got the under. Lions went 9-8 last year. Over unders at 9.5.
Under.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm a man of principle. The Vikings are going under, and there was a lot of games that the Lions lost last second. I think they were a year away from being able to compete, but I like what they're doing. I hated that draft low key. So, but I think Amon-Ra St. Brown is gonna fucking.
Who'd they really add though? Like who? Like they got the running back Gibbs.
Never mind.
The rookie, right?
I'm going over on Vikings on the lines. Their draft stunk.
It was
I'm
really bad.
Yo,
not remembering.
and
It's
their
dumb.
best receiver suspended for gambling.
No, their best receiver is Amon-Ra St. Brown. it's not.
From what we've seen.
I mean, I don't know how you want to judge it.
Boy was a rookie last year coming off an injury.
Hey, I'm going under the Lions. Shout out to Cart, but they stink.
What is it, 9.5? I'm gonna go under. I think they're 8-9 win team given everything going on over there. But at the same time, this division does stink.
Yeah, but they stink.
They stink too, though.
Yeah, they're one of the reasons why this division stinks. Green Bay Packers, they went
Yeah,
8-9
you went under?
last year.
Yeah, I went under.
I'm going under automatically with the Packers at 7.5. I think this is a Caleb Williams sweepstakes team.
I got the over. The team's really good. Aaron Rodgers is a moron. I think that's one of the best defenses in the league. The weapons ain't great, but like, bro was also trying to throw to his fucking butt buddies instead of just letting the front office do what they do. And now he's doing the same thing with the Jets. So I think they're going to run the ball a ton. They're going to chew the clock. Jordan Love's only going to have to make 1 or 2 throws. I've been calling him Jordan Purdy. You know what I mean? They're going to have him out there looking like Brock. And then I think they're
I disagree with all of that.
I think they're going to win the division.
I got the over, and I agree with other than the Purdy shit. I agree with everything. I think that secondary is legit. I think that D line is legit. That linebacking group is legit, and I just think they can win game 17-14. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going over with the Packers.
Yo, X, who you say you fuck with from Kansas?
From Kansas?
No, never mind. This is a Fat Joe reference.
That's racist. So I'm supposed to know every
Just a little bit.
lyric?
Just a little bit.
Like, oh, you fat in Puerto Rican, you must know, Fat Joe entire discography by heart. Like,
Yo, so the Bears went 3-14 last year, and they're at 7.5. I'm gonna take the over.
oh, buddy.
I'm gonna take the over.
I don't think there's a more overrated player right now than Justin Fields. I don't give a fuck that he scrambled for 80 yards when they was down 40. That motherfucker can't hit the side of a barn. Give me the under.
I got the under because they didn't really do anything with the rest of the team. I think Fields is legit. I like Fields. They're working on the offensive line, but that's the problem. They're just working on the offensive line.
They're working on the offensive line. They added Chase Claypool and DJ Moore. Khalil Herbert is now the feature running back with them. You don't
Where are we getting to the positives?
Yo.
Oh my god.
Like,
yeah, they got
crazy.
3 number 3 receivers. They got a backup running back.
oh, they extended Cole Kmet 4 years, 40-something million.
Cole Kmet is legit.
I was waiting for you to say something that would have made me be like, you know what, I got the over. You were like, yo, they got 17 slot receivers. They got a backup running back.
Slot receivers win championships.
Yeah, DJ Moore. I like DJ Moore. He ain't that good though. And Claypool stinks. Ain't he hurt too?
I'm not sure. Is he?
I
Chase
think
Claypool tricked y'all. He had a couple nice catches out in Pittsburgh, and folks fell in love. I'm good.
Chase Smith-Schuster.
Done.
All right. Last one, NFC East.
No, wait. We gotta move on.
We didn't even go AFC East, did we?
Yeah, we're about to go to the AFC East now. The AFC East. The Buffalo Bills won the division last year. They went 13-3. Dominated the division last year, went 4-2. They are listed at 10.5 right now. I'm gonna take the over.
10.5 for the Bills?
Yeah.
Like Buffalo?
Yes.
Way over. Way over.
Play the Raiders, the Commanders in week 2 and week 3. They play the Giants week 6. They should win that. Tampa Bay week 8.
I'm taking the over. LERK.
I let off. I took the under.
Oh, you
I mean, I
them?
took the over.
Oh, took the
I
over.
took the over 10.5.
Okay.
Dolphins came in second last season, 9-8. Right now they're at 9.5. I'm gonna take the over on this one too.
I'm gonna take the over too. That's my coach, Magic Mike.
He vapes, so he's got my vote.
That's my
Over.
coach.
He vapes at the game, so he got my vote. Patriots over under 7.5. They went 8-9 last year. I'm gonna take the under.
I'm gonna take the under. This is a sneaky, really good division. Like a really good division.
Taking the under.
And then the Jets went 7-10 last season. They had 9.5 this year. I'm gonna take the over.
I got the under. I don't think that defense is as good as they looked last year. That was a product of like the offense not really throwing the ball at all and just using the clock, and they were always fresh. So I'm gonna take the under. I also think fucking Rodgers stinks.
I do think Rodgers stinks, but I think Garrett Wilson is special. The question is, if the Jets and Dolphins were playing tomorrow for your life, who would you take on a neutral
Dolphins.
field?
I'm taking the Dolphins.
In a heartbeat.
I don't trust
Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill.
I don't
the
trust
main
Tua.
I don't trust Tua either. The main reason I'm doing it is Mike McDaniel coaches the shit out of fucking Robert.
No, actually, you know what? I have to go with the Jets. I have to go with the Jets in that situation.
Jalen Ramsey's hurt. He might not start the year.
He's stinks
He's
anyway.
not gonna start the year. They said he's expected to miss the first 6 games, right?
Yeah, he's out till December. He stinks anyway. That was a bad trade.
Yeah. Because I think the Pats really stink. I'm going over on the Jets.
I'm taking the over on that. I think they win the division, to be honest.
You said under, right, Dion?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the under. I got the under on Jets and Pats, over on the other two.
I got the over on all 3 except the Patriots. That's the only team I got going under. NFC East. Eagles went 14-3 last year. They're at 11.5 this year.
11.5?
Yeah.
Over.
12-5? Over.
That division's
I'm looking at their schedule. Trying to see if I could find 6 losses.
That division stinks. Next team.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the over. Cowboys, they went 12-5 last year. They're at 9.5 this year. I'm gonna
9.5?
9.5?
That's
Yeah, 9.5.
disrespectful. Over.
I'm gonna take the over.
Yeah, that's disrespectful.
I want to take the under, but I can't. Over.
I might have to bet that. I'm not a futures guy, but I might have to bet that one. That in Buffalo. Buffalo's line's mad disrespectful.
Giants,
Under.
they went 9-7 last year. They had 7.5 this year.
Oh, that's kind of disrespectful.
I'm gonna take the over.
Yeah, I still got the under.
I still got the under.
Take the over.
Hey, Daniel Jones got a new contract, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how them contract year New York boys get. Daniel Randall,
Nah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Julius Jones.
The Giants and the Giants players, no matter how bad they are, no matter where they at on the depth chart, are built different than the greatest New York Knicks players ever.
Daniel Jones is not better.
And then we got the Washington Commanders. They went 8-8 last year. They at 6.5 this year.
Oh, I got the over on this one. That's a disrespectful number too.
I think
Who they quarterback?
I think all 4 teams in this division are going over.
Yeah, that's impossible.
It's not. It's not.
Yeah, someone got to win.
It's not. It's not impossible for the Commanders to win 7, the Giants to win 8, the Cowboys to win 10, and the Eagles to still win 12.
I mean, we'll see.
The Commanders quarterback is Jimmy G, right?
No, that's Vegas.
No, that's the Raiders quarterback.
I don't know who their quarterback is. Is it
Sam
my
Howell?
dog Heineke?
No, it's Sam Howell.
I think it's Howell.
Oh,
Give me the under.
And if it's not him, it's your boy Jacoby Brissett.
Oh,
Give me the over. I'm back in. Give me the over. Free Jacoby. I'm back in.
you going over, Lurk?
Yeah, I took the over. I think they win 7 games, 8 games.
All right, I got the under.
I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility for all 4 of these teams to go over and still only have the top 2 go to the playoffs.
They would have
Look
to
at
go
the
like
look at the now you gotta look at the win
11-1
total.
against everybody else in the conference. I don't know if that's true.
Now you gotta understand, look at the win totals that they got them at though. 6.5, 7.5, 9.5, 11.5. Right? Look, just based off of last year alone, right? Not saying that's gonna be a repeat of last year, but just off of last year alone, all 4 of these overs hit.
We got another team.
Nah, that's the last of it.
Who's y'all Super Bowl prediction?
I nailed my shit. Pause.
Rematch?
Eagles Chiefs again?
Could be that, or it might be the Bengals. When I look at the East, I don't see anybody with like obviously you only gotta be the best team for 60 minutes. That's it. That's all that matters, is being the best team for 60 minutes. You don't gotta be the best team in the league. You just gotta be the better team for 60 minutes to win. But
No, I understand how it works.
but like I don't see another
The
team.
way you win the game is you score more points than your opponent. You feel
Nah,
me?
but no, but because it's like
minutes, you have more
because we've
points.
seen it all the time. Like just because you're the best team in the NFL don't mean that you don't have a bad game or like a serious injury to a key player where you end up not making it to the Super Bowl. But like
I got Bills Eagles.
I don't see another team in the NFC that has a chance in really going all the way other than the Eagles.
Yeah, I agree.
And then the AFC, even though the Chiefs are clearly the best team out there, there's a couple teams that could make a run. Like a healthy Bengals team is no fucking joke. The Bills are a little iffy. They already lost their starting running back for the season. And we've seen how they like Josh Allen like tends to run out of gas in the playoffs because of how much he has to carry the team throughout the regular season. And then, not for nothing, like as much as I hate to say it, if the Jets sign Dalvin Cook officially, bro, like they do have the makings of a championship team. So my prediction is a rematch of last year, Chiefs Eagles. But there's really a couple teams in the AFC that we could see in the Super Bowl next season.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think like I would never bet on it being a rematch in the Super Bowl in the NFL. It's probably not going to happen. But I don't see how you could look at the two conferences and be like, there's 2 teams better than the Chiefs or the Eagles right now.
Yeah,
and
like
that's just reality.
Honestly, the only thing that could probably throw a damper in things for me is if whoever the fuck is the quarterback midway through the season and in the playoffs for the 49ers is playing better than expected.
He won't.
I'm not saying that he will. I'm just saying like that's the only thing that would really change things for me anyway, is if either Purdy or Lance, whoever it is playing above expectations. You say you got Bills, Eagles, X? And what would did you say what yours was, or did you just say that you wouldn't bet on a rematch, Dion?
I mean, I'm gonna take the rematch. I don't think there's anyone in the NFC, and then I'm not betting against Mahomes until he decides he's done.
So we all in agreement with that. And then if you had to, before we wrap this up, MVP, we do some award predictions real quick, and then we call it.
Pat, I'm not betting against Mahomes until he tell me not to.
Who you got, X?
I see the Joe Burrow talk. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go Burrow.
It's a lot of weapons in Cincinnati, man.
That's even more reason for him to get it. We seen it with Rodgers. We saw it with Peyton.
No, I agree. I agree. I was supporting what he said.
Oh, okay. Cause I was leaning Burrow before he answered. I don't want
I
Philly
think
piggybacking.
Burrow's the smart pick. I'm just taking
I
Mahomes.
think it's Burrow, but just to be different and not have the same pick as either one of y'all, I'm gonna go with the Jalen Hurts.
Sneaky value. The Bills lost a lot this offseason. DeMar
Josh
Hamlin
Allen.
situation. Josh Allen, if they're good and he plays remotely decent, media is going to be pushing it for him to get that award.
Who'd you say, Lurk?
I said to be different Hurts. I was gonna go with Burrow, but I didn't want to pick the same thing as you, so I went with Hurts.
Jalen Hurts, that's Lamar Jackson with Lincoln Riley as a coach at one point.
Defensive player of the year, I gotta go Nick Bosa. No.
Not in camp right now.
TJ Watt.
Yeah, TJ. I'm gonna go Parsons. I thought he should have got it last year, low key.
Parsons.
Offensive player of the year.
And Mahomes, till he tell me not to.
I'm not giving him MVP, so I gotta go with Mahomes. If it's not Mahomes, it's Jettas. Well, that's it for this week's episode of the Break the Bank podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe and tune in next week. We're gonna be hitting y'all with some NFL player rankings.